Network communication technology. Table of content. Data communication. Communication standard. Organizational standard. OC. Open system interconnection and internet standard. Number 1. Data communication. Data communication. Another definition of data communication is the transmission of electronic data through several media: coaxial cable, optical fiber, microwave, etc. The system that allows data transmission to occur is often referred to as a data communication network. In data communication science, data means information presented in the form of binary digital signals. Basically, data communication is the process of sending and receiving data or information from two or more devices. English device, such as for computer or laptops or smartphones or printers and other communication tools that are connected in a network, both local and broad, such as the internet. Basically, data communication is the process of sending information between two points using binary coded route, transmission lines, and switching equipment. It can be between computer and computers, computers with terminals, or computers with equipment, or equipment with equipment. One of the most important aspects is the data communication component that must exist in the process of sending or receiving. If one of the components is not present, then the two processes automatically cannot be carried out. Here are 5 basic components you need to know about data communication system. Data source. In addition to computers, there are several devices that are used as sources, such as fax, telephone, PC, telegram, and so on. Each of these sources can later generate an electromagnetic wave to transmit data. Devices as sources have very diverse forms, such as a collection of text consisting of text, images, and videos. All the data, as well as the information in systemized in a single unit and then entered into the computer system. The second, transmitter. The next important element is the transmitter, whose function is to process various data information before being sent to certain media. The original form of the data is actually a binary code that only experts know. To process the data into a text file requires a medium called a transmitter. This transmitter generates a data set first and then processes in the such a way. After the data is processed into certain text categories, it will be converted and sent to other device in the form of analog signals. Then it is sent and distributed to the device as a data receiver. One example of a transmitter such as a modem, whose function is to send a digital bit stream from one device to another. The distribution process is sent via an analog signal from the telephone network. The third, delivery media or transmission system. In addition to the transmission, there is also what is known as a transmission system, which is a medium whose function is to carry signals from the transmission source to the receiver. The task of the transmission system specifically is to send data as well as information to the receiving source. The third, recipient. The next important component is the device owned by the recipient of the data or information. The device serves to receive signals that have been sent by the transmission system. This reception process is not carried out directly because it just took steps such as when the transmitter process is working. For example, a workstation. Sender and destination. The recipient actually cannot receive the data directly because the data still needs to be converted to its original form. The data is first reprocessed the same as in the transmitter performs. After the data can be returned to its initial form as before it was sent at an early stage, then the complete data can be received in text form. Data communication standard. Data communication standards are known as a set of protocols or rules that give permission for devices to transfer data between devices. The main thing in the protocol is the application of technical standards so the real-time communication can be carried out. From this protocol, all communication relationships are determined to run and take place or not. The protocol also deals with data communication material which vary widely according to the intended use. There are some important things you need to know regarding the functionality of the protocol. Organizational standard. The standard of a communication is needed so that there is diversity, so that communication is possible. Here are some standard organizations that play a role in computer network. Internet Engineering Task Force, International Telecommunication Union, International Organization for Standardization, American National Standards Institute, Electronic Industries Association, INSTI, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. Next, OSI. Open System Interconnection or OSI is a reference model created from a conceptual framework. However, now it has developed and become a special standardization with regard to computer connection. The purpose of making the OSI layer is to be a reference model for every vendor or developer so that the product of software created has an interpolate nature, which means the user can cooperate with the product or system without the need for special handling. And finally, standard internet. Internet standards ensure that hardware and software produced by different vendors can work together. Having standards makes it easier to develop software and hardware connecting different networks because software and hardware can be developed one layer at a time. Usually, the standard used is data communication are called protocol.